loves. Here are my favorite lock products for 3B and 3C hair, as well as a mini tutorial. So the products I used, I literally just grabbed my whole hair bin so I could just pull things out and show you. But I highly recommend, first and foremost, you want to lay those baby hairs when you lock them. So get one of these little combs. This is a Kiss one. I feel like I picked it up from CVS for a few bucks, but those brushes are really good for getting the edges. We also got the little fine comb for other parting and things. I don't know. I'm not the edge queen, but I am someone who knows that how to lay a baby hair or two, right? Also, you want a fine tooth comb with one of these points. I don't really remember what you call these edges. Again, this is someone who is not a hair expert, who's falling in love with my hair and learning this journey. So, well, falling in love with my hair again and experiencing it in a different way. But when you are starting your starter locks, I highly recommend having a comb so you can get your parts even. I was someone who wanted to at least start with a comb, and then if I didn't use a comb or kind of allowed my hair to, you know, if certain strands mixed, I didn't make a huge deal, but I at least wanted it to start neat, and then it can kind of freeform as it goes along. So having a comb for sure. Another important tool, Loc Tonic. So I got this recipe from West Indie Ray, and I love her channel. She makes great content and she's gorgeous and dope. Also has a lot of great videos on starter locks and things. But she basically created a tonic to spray her hair down with. So once you do lock your hair, you do want to make sure that you are keeping it hydrated. Again, me being in a dry place, I try to spray it down at least twice a day. So spraying it down, again, this is a 360 mister that I got from, if I'm correct, Sally. Sally Beauty Supply has them. I think also Bed Bath & Beyond has 360 misters because I was on a hunt. It's not that easy to find. You'll find a lot of spray bottles and not a lot of 360 misters. Amazon as well has them. So you just spray it like this and it feels really good. And sprayed my face. What's in this Loc Tonic is rose water, aloe, also rose water, aloe. You can use distilled water. I use my mineral alkaline water because I just already like it and I don't mind adding extra nutrients. But if you're someone who really wants like the really clear water, you can use distilled. And then sometimes I add like other essential oils. Like this one, I think I added a little like Lang Lang just because, but very little because I don't know how Lang Lang is with hair. I just like the smell. So I highly recommend you can add things like lavender too, rosemary. Those are really good. Lavender is good for calming the scalp. Rosemary is good for stimulating the scalp and like promoting growth. So I highly recommend those as essential oils. You can literally just add a few droplets in this bottle, spray your hair, and you're good to go. Of course, with tonic, you want to add an oil to your hair. So an oil that I love using is the Yaya oil from Dr. Locs. And this one has avocado oil, grapeseed, sweet almond, jojoba, argan, sea kelp, vitamin E, bergamot, orange oil, lime oil, grapefruit oil, and lemon oil. Again, the lemon, grapefruit, these things are going to help not only just smell good, but they're going to help stimulate the scalp. Jojoba is actually very close to the oils our skin produces. So in terms of putting it on our scalp or on our body, it absorbs very well. So highly recommend jojoba. So yes, Dr. Locs makes great lock products, and this is one of them. So now, products for locking the hair, because I covered maintenance, right? So to maintain, you do that. But to lock your hair, I've been using so far the Jamaican mango and lime locking gel. I really like the gel on my hair because I've also tried the Tropical Roots Twist Cream, which a lot of people have spoken about. My issue with this when I did it, my hair's texture, as you can see, is probably like 3C, or maybe even 3B at this point because it's gotten even straighter since I was younger. But the Tropical Roots Twist Cream is a thicker cream. It kind of has that marshmallowy texture. And I really wanted this to work because I thought it was going to work better than the locking cream. The locking gel. But I noticed the locking gel works really well, and I'll show you guys how it looks. Another product I want to try, my partner actually got it. When I went to go get it, it was out of stock. I went to get it in store because I wanted to support the business in person. So it was out of stock in store, but I was able to get it online. Imani Locking Spray, a really great product for locking your hair, another Dr. Locs product. My partner uses this for his locks. I haven't tried it as yet, but I cannot wait. My mentor is actually the founder of the company, so I want to support and I cannot wait to try. But I do love the Yaya oil, and I've tried her pre-cleanse. So the pre-cleanse is anti-buildup, and I really love the pre-cleanse for using before you retwist your locks or before you do your starter locks. It has apple cider vinegar in it, as well as witch hazel and distilled water. It also has sea salt. So when you are locking your hair, people say, what can you do to get it locked faster? Well, one, you want clean locks. So you don't want locks with buildup. But two, you also want your locks to, you don't want it to be in this stage forever where you're like, why is my hair not locking? So salt water, sea salt, these things really help with letting the hair hold. And by doing so, your locks will lock quicker. Also, you will get out of the ugly phase, as people have called it, which I really don't. I'm really enjoying my hair every phase of the way. So, and I'm grateful for that because I was expecting myself to have days or moments where I'm like getting bored of my hair, but then I'm like, you didn't do anything. You bored, but did you even try to style it yet? So use your locks as a way to play and be creative. I've seen people post some dope pictures where like their locks are like on top of their head. So definitely play with your locks as mine get thicker, as well as just a little more, not strength, but I want to say strength to them as they thicken. I'll be able to do things like put them up and stuff without it feeling like it's just kind of hanging down. Okay, I'm jumping around a little, but another product that I would recommend for locks is a foam. So this one is Diamond Edges Braids Control Foam. I feel like I got it at like a beauty supply by my house, but you should be able to find any type of foam like this. And basically what you do, you just pump some in your hand, or you can even pump it straight on your head. And then as soon as you retwist your locks, you just smooth it in. And it lets your hair dry with it on, whether you air dry it or use a dryer. I sometimes air dry it for the sake of not drying out my hair more. But I do sometimes dry it with a dryer. And when I do that, it dries pretty quick and it dries it also in place. So along with using a locking cream or spray or gel, you want to make sure that you also dry. Also, when I use these products, I try not to use too much at once. For example, when I'm using the oil, one pump in my hand for my whole hair for the day. When I'm using the rose water, though, I will allow myself to spray as much as I feel comfortable because rose water smell good. Rose oil is one of the highest frequency, or rose plant is one of the highest frequency plants or herbs, I guess you should say. So by spraying it, I feel like you're also raising your vibration and you're hydrating your hair. So why not? Let's see. Again, the pre-cleanse, you want to make sure you're not using this. You use this before you wash your hair, not after. Braiding foam, again, I only use this when I am retwisting my hair to hold the style in. My shampoo and conditioner so far has been Innersense, and I use this company Innersense on my hair because I had gotten a curl cut a while back actually. And when I got the curl cut, this is the products that he used on me. So I was just like, these products felt good, my hair looked good. I noticed it helped retain my curl, so I still use it. This product happens to be their volume product, so I think I left my shampoo and conditioner in the bathroom, but you get the vibes. All their bottles look pretty much like this. What I love about it, if you have fine hair, one, it's water soluble, so that's great for any hair type. You want water for your hair. Water is great for hair, even if you're locking it. Like water, if you want your hair to grow, water it like a plant. But in terms of having fine hair, I find it even more important to make sure to use products that aren't going to weigh my hair down, but just also and also I can just add water and the product still works. So with Innersense, you add a little bit of water to it and it actually heightens the use of the product. So you don't need as much product as you need water. And I kind of love that, right? Let's see what else is in this bin. Another oil, and this is the last one. Another hair oil I love and recommend is the Macadamia Healing Oil Treatment. So this oil, I had gotten this before I had the Yaya oil, and I just put, and this I think is a combination of really just like argan oil and macadamia oil. And then it has some other fruit oil in it. But yeah, and it has a lot. I will say this does have a lot of, I don't want to assume chemicals, but there's a lot of things I can't pronounce. But I think that gives it the slick texture that I really like. So there goes that. With the Yaya oil though, I love that it's all natural product for the most part, and maybe one or two stabilizers to help it preserve, right? So this is a healing oil treatment. Again, I would just use one pump on my hair. Oh, how can I forget in terms of hair utensils to have for doing your hair? If you are doing any type of starter lock, you need these. And I can't believe I forgot about this until the end, but I will show you what these clips look like. I don't know how they do it, but I'm like trying to show you guys. Look like this. They open and close like that. So these clips are really, really good for holding the lock after you do it. And I'll show you kind of what I do when I do that. Tutorial time. Let's get into doing these locks, shall we? So like, let's say I like this one. I'm going to twist it and then I'm going to clip it and show you guys how I do it. So I don't really have strong hands, so again, my palm roll looks a little different. I have to do it a little tighter for the sake of my hair. I can't just roll it in my palm, but I do like that. And when you are retwisting it, you really want to get the product in here because that's the new hair that grew. So you really want to make sure it can hold it and lock it. So once you see it looks like that, then you take it and you put the clip. And what I like to do, I'm usually doing other parts too. I'm doing it all at once. So I'll clip it into here. So this way I know it's gonna stay tight. And I know the light is moving, but as you can see, that looks pretty tight right there. So love these clips. In terms of my lock count, I probably have about 90 locks. I tried to count when I was doing it, but again, I told you the night I did my hair, I stayed up really late to do it. So I know that I went through one container, which had about 80 clips, and I started another container. Because when I first did it, I didn't have a jar. I had them in the brand new containers that I bought them in. So I recommend also don't get caught up on lock count because my hair is fine and I did 90. I tried to keep in mind that I was watching videos of people who had thicker hair than me, so they may have a lower lock count, but it might look fuller. So keep that in mind. Like, I promise you, intuition will guide you when you're doing your hair. Even if you feel like you need to go to a loctician, just really be in tune with what you need, because for me, I knew that this was a journey that I wanted to kind of go on my own. And I did so much research about, should I do a loctician? And I felt like I wasn't trusting myself with my own hair. And that's when I was like, I'm just going to do this anyway. And I'm going to try to do it as in a way that I love. I know how my hair twists. I know the edges I wanted to have out. I knew that these parts, I didn't really want to put too much of it in, and I didn't mind it kind of being out because I really like my edges of my hair. So I didn't make a big deal of that being perfect, but I knew that I also wanted it to have a middle part and things like that. So I kept that in mind while doing it, but I told myself I wasn't going to overwhelm myself with getting caught up on numbers and things, because it's your own journey. It's going to look different. And if you're prepared for that, you'll really embrace like your hair, your look with your hair. And that's what I love about locks. Like, everyone could style their hair different, but locks is just so cool because it's just like, I think, extra unique. Okay. Let's see if any notes I missed. How often do I retwist them? I think I did cover that for the most part, but I will say, they say it's a good standard to kind of retwist your locks once a month or once every 6 weeks. And I think that's kind of good to keep. So that's what I'm going to try to do once I feel like they're, a little like thicker. That's what I plan to do once my locks are thicker, is to retwist every once a month or once every 6 weeks. Also, a lot of people recommend, the front of your hair tends to sometimes get frizzier quicker. So if you're going out or going to an event, feel free to retwist it before and just maybe touch up the front if you're like, I'm going to wait on the back. You know what I mean? Okay, last question. How long do I plan to keep these locks? I plan to keep them in as long as my soul feels inspired to. I know that I want to see them longer, so I really would love to see myself with waist-length locks, so I'm willing to put in the work with that. But again, I'm going to be going through postpartum. I'm going to be going through many changes after I go through pregnancy, so I don't know what my locks are going to do. Also, if you are someone who wants to get locks, but you know that you're interested in getting pregnant, or you are maybe already pregnant, know that you may have shedding, but you can also reattach those locks if you do. So that is something that was told to me, and through watching videos, as you're probably doing right now, but it's something that made me feel better about going through this process, because at first I was like, am I really gonna lock my hair and then it might shed? But the reality is, your hair, living now, be in the present moment, and if it's something that you wanted to do, try it out. And that's it. So that's the end of this video. I am praying the 27 minutes of info I recorded has stayed. So I'm going to check my camera right now, but I hope, banging into things. I hope this video helps you. And last but not least, I forgot one more thing. This handy dandy mirror. So ignore all the smudges. But if you are someone who's locking your hair yourself, you definitely need to see what's behind your head. So using a mirror, also following YouTube videos that show like line layouts if you need to get an idea of how you want to part your hair. I watched a few parting videos as well. That really helped me too. So I love you guys, and I will see you soon with an update on how my locks are doing. All right, if you made it to the end of this video, definitely hit that subscribe button.